I don't think I ever talked about this property before. Link in the corner. I came out of the Quintessential Quintuplet movie just now. And I know you guys get angry at me because I basically did watch the dub version with Josh Griel. I pretty much know I butchered that name. Sue me. I know, the Japanese cast is one of the greatest ensemble casts you'll ever see. Some great voice actresses in there. My question about this is, why couldn't you break this movie up into 12 episodes? You had enough story to do it. And, that basically is all the entire movie's weaknesses. Is the fact that
there is too much story for a 2-hour runtime, and the movie suffered for it.
With that said, I do like the fact they brought in most content from the manga. I know they kind of forgot one of the big things, the grandfather passing, which would end up being a pretty sad moment in the manga. I mean, yeah, they did go over the if scenarios, which is weird. Reason why, because the two saddest, obviously, were Itsuki, because it involved the father, her actual biological father, and, of course, Yotsuba. I think in a narrative standpoint, most of the movie should have been about Yotsuba. Yotsuba was, for all intents and purposes, going to be the bride. Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years, so you probably should have known by now that she is the bride. Sorry, I spoiled it. Yeah, it's not like it gave away the ending in Rent a Girlfriend Hater's Guide. This entire plaza is really, really gotten depressing. I mean, a lot of the stores are basically empty. The movie theater looked like it was basically shut down. In fact, I walked by and I actually thought the thing went out of business. I was about to go to Fandango and demand my money back, because I just thought the whole thing went out of business. It's dimly lit. There's almost nobody in there. Just a couple of people behind the counter and the bar. The box office is gone. I think I should tell you, this is the same theater I saw Shang-Chi in. So basically, I had a private screening. I was the only person in the movie theater. Most people are probably just waiting this to come out in streaming. I do have to say this, a lot of things they got correct in this movie always revolved around Yotsuba. They really kind of bring up basically, all the flaws in her story. The fact that she actually wanted to be better than her sisters, and for all intents and purposes, she really kept falling behind, especially academically. It went over the fact that her promise to Fuutarou that she would become smart, become very rich, and leave off the financial burden off her mother. And yeah, they did bring up the tragedy of her mother. Yeah, if you haven't figured out by now, the mothers of Fuutarou and the Quintuplets were Disney princessed. Yeah, if you're a Disney parent, you're basically, look, I'm not going to go to your funeral because it's pretty much apparent it's going to happen. That old trope.
I have to apologize for this interruption. The plaza I was in was so deserted that kids were racing muscle cars in the background. That is what you're listening to.
They also brought some other tropes they quickly went through. I mean, the really annoying ones, like, the childhood friend suddenly coming out of nowhere trope. That was quickly done. They also had the, oh no, it was all a dream from the beginning, which is weird because they actually did it in the final preview of episode 12, season 1. It was all a dream. What was the wedding? It was all, no, the whole series was just a dream. It was a fake out. Yeah, they went over a lot of tropes pretty quickly, including a lot of review of the series, particularly the swing scene from last season. And of course, the fact that the swing broke, basically almost killing Fuutarou right off the bat. Of course, they kind of left off the last meetings with Miku before the comic book ended, as well as Itsuki's play to try to become the bride. Well, let's face it, it's a movie. You have about 2 hours. It's animated, so they can't make it longer. And there were a lot of studios involved in making this one, including WIT, White Fox, JC Staff. Yeah, they went out of the way to really try to make this movie happen. Okay, the English voice acting was done very well. And the animation, for all intents and purposes, even though it was done by at least a dozen studios, including Toei Animation, which I didn't think would be involved in this one. I have to say this. The animation, for all intents and purposes, I know I actually read a review about it. Well, the review didn't have any spoilers, but then again, I read the manga, so it was actually done pretty well, which I thought. Including the fact how many studios were involved. You know, usually we have this much cohesion. Yeah, it gets very sloppy at times. And I know when JC Staff is called in, yeah, they generally don't always put off the best effort. When they are the main studio used, that's when they put all their effort they possibly have in it. That's the reason why the Konosuba movie really worked out. It was a really fun sit, I'll say that. I did enjoy watching the last arcs of the manga coming on screen. Like, you know, I really wish this was really nothing more than just another season 3. But they did a great job at least concluding it, including showing the future. But once again, it leads to the fact that it was the final arcs. So, you know, like, at points you think they're just going to skip right to the end. No, they don't. They did go over where the graduation trip was. And it seemed kind of out of place. But then again, when they finally came back to the original narrative, it works. I also have to guys to tell you this. Yosuba really had a good coach. Yeah, I mean, how many people were taught football by Diego Maradona? Yeah, they included that part too. Yeah, Naji, the original creator of the series, when he was doing the manga, he left a little tribute to Diego Maradona. Basically drew someone to look almost like him, including the Argentinian jersey. So I'm pretty sure at least that bit of tribute was left. Yeah, I mean, Diego Maradona passed away a couple years ago. Once again, Crunchyroll's dub of this was done pretty well. I have no complaints. I guess I got to give a grade, don't I? I have the grade of B+. It was still a very interesting set. I really wish this was more of a third season as opposed to a movie. But that's just me. Well, one of the big harems from the last 10 years have come and gone. I know there's a lot of train wrecks out there, which is weird because this one was actually not a train wreck. I know because I did a review. Once again, I just mentioned it, Rent a Girlfriend, which is a huge train wreck. This series had nothing but 6 very well written, thought out characters. And you can understand their motives exceptionally well. Once again, I was very happy to experience it. So, in closing, 428, your winning numbers. Yotsuba Management. Anyway, I'm going to leave. I hear a lot of muscle cars driving around here at night. There goes one. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.